Hello, I'm Peter, English teacher at Academia DS, and I'm going to explain to you the differences between Trinity ISE and Trinity Gese exams. First of all, the ISE, Integrated Skills in English exam. Now this consists of two exams. The first exam is the reading and writing exam. The second exam is the speaking and listening exam. The reading and writing exam consists of 4 parts, 2 reading tasks and 2 writing tasks. The speaking and listening exam consists of, now this consists of 4 parts again. So speaking and listening. 4 parts. One is a topic. 2 is what we call the interactive task. 3 is a conversation task. And finally 4, this is a recording of a listening task. Yeah? Right. So, the main difference between ISE and Gese is that ISE consists of 2 exams, one of which is the reading and writing, which we've already talked about. The difference between ISE and Gese is not a big difference. The ISE speaking tasks of the exam are very similar to Gese. Let's just make some space here. And let's put Gese. One moment. 2, 10. Right. Now Gese means graded exams in spoken English. So for both ISE and Gese, with levels B1, B2 and C1, you have to prepare a topic on a subject of interest, something that you can talk about, that you have an opinion about. For B1, it might be a hobby or something you're studying. B2 and C1, your topics need to be a little bit more complex, yeah? But basically, the topic section for both Gese and ISE is the same. Gese. Okay. With the higher levels of ISE and Gese, for example, C1, the only difference is that your topic presentation is 4 minutes long. With Gese, it is up to 5 minutes long. Then you have to have a conversation with the examiner about your topic. At ISE level 3, that is again 4 minutes long. At Gese, that is up to 5 minutes long. So there is some flexibility in the lengths, yeah? The interactive task, second part, this is also the same for both ISE and Gese. The examiner, now the examiner will read you a prompt. This is a piece of information. It might be a dilemma or a problem. Yeah? For example, I am thinking of going to university, but I'm not sure what subject to study. Yeah? It might be an opinion. Yes? For example, I think that children should spend less time using mobile phones and computers and more time playing sports. Yeah? You need to respond by asking questions and maintaining a conversation for up to 4 or 5 minutes. 4 minutes ISE, 5 minutes Gese. That's the only difference between the two exams. The interactive task is the same for each exam. Conversation task, again, both ISE and Gese have a conversation task, and for levels B1, B2 and C1, there will be a list of conversation tasks, conversation topics that you need to practice talking about. Yeah, you will have a short conversation with the examiner. You cannot choose the conversation subject. The examiner will choose that. The topics vary depending on which exam you are doing, ISE or Gese, and also which level. The main difference between ISE and Gese speaking and listening is the listening task. In ISE, you will hear recordings. The examiner will play you a recording and then ask you specific questions. You will need to summarize what the speaker is talking about, and then you will need to give some more specific information. The examiner will either ask you questions, specific questions at B1, or will ask you to maybe summarize particular information. Gese listening is very different. There are 3 short listening tasks at levels. This applies to levels C1 and C2, which correspond to Gese 10, 11 and 12. The examiner will read you 2 short texts which are incomplete, and you need to provide a suitable ending for those short texts, which must be grammatically correct. There are 2 tasks like that. The final task is again a short text which the examiner will read out. This time it's complete, and then the examiner will ask you a question about that complete text. So I hope that this has helped you to understand a little bit more about the differences between the ISE exams and the Gese exams.